You know this, Uncle Tom.
Listen, sucker. I'm blacker than the ace of spades and more militant than you and your whole damn army put together. And while you out there chanting at rallies and browbeating politicians, I'm taking out any money front sucker on a Hummel that gets in my way. So I tell you what, when your so-called revolution starts, you call me, and I'll be right down front showing you how it's done. But until then, you need to shut the fuck up when grown folks is talking.
What up, world? It's your boy, Cool.
You got a kid chief in the building.
You have your girl Monica here in the building.
And once again, it's Christian. And y'all know what it is. It's time to plug them headphones in, put the kids to bed, and let's begin to listen. Today we're gonna talk about that K2 situation, that Omarosa shit, and mental health. Y'all know what it is. Let's go.
What up, world? What's going on with y'all?
Shit. What's happening?
This conversation is about to be the best conversation that we will be producing with Grown Ups Talk in a while. I promise that.
It's definitely got the potential to have that energy.
Listen, keep that same energy. Don't take it personal. This shit about to be fire. Right off the bat.
But so we can get right into this, we're going to get right into this, you feel me? So, this part of the show is dedicated to you know what I mean? To my fans, to our supporters, to our listeners, to everybody that's supporting the podcast every week as we drop this content, and y'all hit that like, that share, that follow, and y'all fuck with us, we fuck with y'all. It take a special type of you to appreciate a special type of us, and we appreciate that.
Shit, I'm just going to say before I get started, you got that shit down, motherfucking packed. I'm just sitting about my head like rapping and shit. But I mean, you already know my motto: like, share, and follow. And if you didn't do it, do it. Tell a friend and do it again, man.
And if you on Instagram, Facebook, Spotify, iTunes, YouTube, any of the motherfucking social media sites, you know where to find us. Hit that motherfucking link.
Let's get it.
I never participate in the reindeer games.
You gotta get
I never do. I just sit there like, I let y'all get y'all, get y'all cute off. I don't participate in the reindeer games. Can't do it. But guys, again, we appreciate you guys. Definitely hard body out on Instagram, Facebook. I've noticed that we got a lot of more followers on Facebook. YouTube is popping too, so we definitely appreciate you guys just coming up doing it. But I usually just look at Instagram because that's where I'm at. So I just want to acknowledge some of the people that just recently came on board for the Grown Up Talkies. So
grown up talkies. I thought it was grown up beings.
No, we're gonna talk here. We're here.
Grown up talkies.
So
wait, am I grown up?
Yeah.
Not yet.
Damn, host, my nigga.
See, I have a Prince Sharon F. I have a Neil Chang. A lot of people that's overseas, so we definitely see you. Eldrin Monk. Oh, that might be a. Okay, go ahead. I have a Chris, Presley, and a Joe. There's a few, but you know what? This time around, it was like 14, 15 people. But either way, we appreciate you guys following us.
Yeah, Joe, that's my dude. Shout out to you. Appreciate you supporting us. Know what I mean, you've been with us since day one. Know what I mean, and you always giving the feedback. I appreciate that, bro. Definitely.
Shouts out.
And, you know what I mean, shout out to my boy Steve. You know who you is, Steve. You know what I mean?
Shout out to Steve.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Ladies, y'all know Match Pool. You know what I mean?
Oh, no, don't shout him out.
Don't shout him out?
No, don't shout him out.
Yeah. Hey, yo, Steve, you gonna see this? You gonna hear this? You know who that was, bro.
What?
But,
He's like, no.
yeah, yo, so he, you know what I mean, he came to me, you know what I mean, and also a day one supporter, been fucking with us for a minute, you know what I mean. He wanted us to talk about the Omarosa situation. I mean, he know that we be having them political views sometimes. We grown ups, we talk about the grown up shit, and there's mad different levels to that. You know what I mean, so he wanted to see our opinion on it. You know what I mean, so for those who don't know what's going on with the Omarosa situation, she was fired. You know what I mean, from the White House a while ago, and while she was in there, she had recorded some conversations or whatever of some wild ass lingo that was going on, some conversations going on in the White House or whatever. She caught on tape, she released it or whatever, and it's mad controversy around it. A lot of people saying she released it just because of, her book sales right now. We're trying to get her book sales up. A lot of people saying that she released it just because she hurt. And then there's a whole nother undertone, like, it's just a bunch of shit around it. But my thing is, what do y'all think? What do y'all know?
Let me just
I don't know too much about it. I just caught the headlines here and there. But
I do, because I read the newspaper.
This
is all up my alley. So first of all, Emerald, I'm gonna give you your 15 seconds of fame, because I really don't think we need a full segment to talk about a woman that at one point was down in the African American community. I mean, she went to different events telling black folks that they are not following our president at the time. No, keep that same energy. That is your president. That's your orange Cheeto. Keep your same energy. Do not come off that plantation, baby. Don't think because now you got fired, you in your feelings, he used you for what you were worth as a black friend. Don't get upset now because he no longer wants to pay you any mind. So my reason that she's probably doing this because he definitely did call her a dog. And I feel like because he called her a dog, she's like, all right, well, you know what? If you're calling me a bitch, basically you're insinuating I'm a bitch. I'm going to show you what a bitch can do. And she released those tapes. But she had all ample opportunity to release those tapes while she was in office. So what's the difference now? Don't stand up for the black community. You want us to accept you back with open arms? You want us to invite you to the fucking cookouts and play, the wobble and have dance beside you, and just pretend that you was not just disrespecting the black community? Nah, B, you can't get nothing from the black community. We trade Jesse Coleman for your ass, and he ain't getting returned. So you might as well just stick where the fuck you at.
She brought up the trade.
Listen,
we do need a racial drive like Chappelle did. We need one of those. I'm telling you, there's a few people we need to get out of here.
Exactly. You trade Raven Simone too. She been on that other side. Keep her ass over there. Stacey Dash too. There's a few of you guys. So but you know what? Won't you get in with the friends that you have? Stacey Dash, Raven Simone. Y'all can be one big old family and throw your own stuff, but don't think you're coming back on the black side.
That's her squad.
Don't think you're coming back onto the black side thinking that you're going to gain the acceptance of the black community after you done embarrassed us so many times. Ben Carson, your ass is next. Come on.
Yeah,
because the whole White House, there is absolutely no upper administration that is of color, and that's Hispanic or black. So from there, you should already know what you was getting into. Don't wait. You want to get those book sales? You should be apologizing to the people that can build your book sales. Nobody got time for you. Then you go on TV and act a damn fool.
That is like everybody was giving her the warnings. Clear as day. I mean, you couldn't have made it any clearer. He only using you for what?
They say I have a black friend.
Right.
Look at my black friend. She's right there.
Right.
The token nigga.
Right.
No, keep your ass on that plantation. We all in state but you.
And she was in denial the whole time. She was in a sunken place there, and now that she
ain't in no fucking sunken place. She knew exactly what she was doing when she did.
She was blind, and she was, as my brother AR would say, she had the sheet over her face, like, you know what I mean. And once that shit got lifted, and she got the boot. Now it's now I'm trying to backtrack and do all that. I feel the same way.
Too late. Keep that same energy.
Yeah, like she knew what it was. They view any person, you know what I mean, coming from our neck of the woods or period, just being black period, you go in there and they view you all the same. They might treat you a little bit different in your face, but when it's behind closed doors, it's a whole nother conversation. Like, and I know a lot of people listen to this and they think we just hate all white people, or we always got negative shit against white people. It's not that. We're talking about the specific group of people that do shit like that. Like, if we understand like all races got some bad apples. That's what we're talking about, the bad apples.
Yes, the bad apples. Someone said that to me too.
That use their privilege to help.
But while we saying that, let me just use this platform to say that a lot of people came to me because I do have friends outside of the African American culture. A lot of my friends came to me and were like, well, Monica, you hang out with us, you come to our events, you party with us, like you're down with us, but then you listen to this podcast and it seems like you're bashing our people all the time. And I have to explain that you have to remember this is entertainment, and none of us in this room, it is entertainment. None of these people in this room.
I feel like saying this entertainment waters it down. I mean,
Yeah.
Well,
that's kind of saving face, but I'm not saying that you.
No, I'm not saving face. Wait a minute, I'm not saving face when I'm. If you guys let me finish, when I'm saying that, at the end of the day, we have viewers that listen to us. We're gonna have people. We're gonna say things that allow people. That's gonna have people in their feelings. But that does not necessarily mean that we are racist individuals. I don't think anybody in this room is a racist, or are we prejudiced to other races.
Right.
Do we have an issue with some stupid things that they do? Absolutely, but that's with any culture that does something stupid.
Right. I mean, we speak against the problem and we come up with solutions on this. I mean, so, and like I said, we're not speaking about an entire race or an entire type of people or an entire race or an entire. Yeah, it's fucking entire race. Fuck, I'm trying to polish it up for. Listen, this shit is grown-ups talk. We grown-ups, we talk about the fuck we feel, how we feel about it. We find solutions, we state the problems, and we get it out there. It's conversations that need to be had. My bad if you feel like, well, it's not even my bad. It's your bad if you feel like you want your feelings behind it. Oh, well, that means we got your attention, so you're going to pay attention next time.
If you feel some type of way, we might be talking to you, because I mean, it's simple as that.
Yeah,
there's no way you should feel some type of way if the shoe don't fit.
Right. Point blank, period. You shouldn't feel no type of way.
Right. Period. You should be on our side if anything, because you know there's injustice, you know there's prejudice, you know there's racial, profiling, all the shit that we talk about on our podcast. You know we ain't bullshit.
It's just, it is what it is.
But let's move past that.
Let's talk about the key at hand, because we already gave 15 minutes of fame.
We did we? Or did you?
I did. I got the shit on my chest. You got something to say?
Definitely.
No, go for it.
It's our show. That's what I'm here for.
Well, no, because I'm
you know what I'm saying?
my bad. You know, I apologize. I just jumped the gun. I jumped the gun. I already said what I had to say, and I just don't want to
wrap it up.
Wrap it up. She got her 15 seconds of fame, and we good. Let's move on. But I mean, go ahead. You got the floor.
No, I just wanted to say, all I wanted to say was, no, but I disagree with y'all. Know what I mean, so I just want to throw my 2 cents in. Like I really feel like it's a clout chase on her behalf. Just as simple as that. It ain't nothing to. It's not doing it. She's not doing it for the right reasons. I don't believe. Right. Like I don't believe there's no good intentions behind it. I don't think she trying to do it for us to
set
see
us free. No,
for us to really see who Trump is or who he pretending to be or whatever.
Right.
Even though we see it even long before she try to reveal it to us or whatever. But yeah, I just think this is clout.
Old news.
She was trying to.
What?
Shit, old news. Let's talk about this current news. Let's talk about what our city and our state making move on.
Hold on, 1 minute though. 1 minute. Can we please say rest in peace to Aretha Franklin, please?
Yes.
That's a huge loss. Huge loss.
Thank you for bringing that up.
Like,
I appreciate that so
Had to
much.
shake that man.
Yes. Oh my gosh. We just jumped right into the negativity. We didn't even give this wonderful queen the respect she deserves.
Definitely. And that speech Madonna gave, stop being so self-centered. I mean, it wasn't supposed to be about you. I mean,
I didn't even see it, thank God.
Yeah, nah.
Because she would have been getting ringed out too.
Yeah, I seen the clips and all that on Twitter. I mean, I was.
Wait, what happened?
Disgusting.
She did a whole speech or whatever, but it was basically, the speech was based around her, like, I mean, and then she threw in a little bit of seasoning about Aretha Franklin, and then said, her rest in peace or whatever after that. But she made it more about her, draw the attention to her, than it was to, an actual tribute.
Another clout chaser. But let's get to Aretha Franklin. I want to just say thank you. We appreciate what you blessed us with. This is a woman of soul and just grace and elegance. I've never seen Queen. Yes, Queen Pear on top, honey. She deserves all the respect. Well, I'm just saying, she deserves all the respect.
Definitely.
Don't come for Aretha. It's simple.
Yeah, like that's one singer that always like
icon.
Yeah.
Icon. There's no other way to put that. It's icon.
Yeah, legendary. On that case, on that sense, let's just get a moment of silence.
Alright.
Rest in peace.
Definitely. So yeah, man. Recently, we made national news. I mean, that K2 situation, everything that happened on the green and all that, I think it ended up being like 90 people that...
Drugs.
Yeah, it was just under 100.
Yeah, just under 100 people that overdosed and all that, you know what I mean?
85.
85?
I got 100, more than 100. Drugs. Singing in.
Facts.
I'll get the numbers. I will get the numbers. Now, CNN,
Hartford Current says 85.
No, we're not listening to Hartford Current. Hartford Current is trying to
that's
save
close
face.
to the home.
CNN,
They rate next door.
CNN, NBC, they all took ABC. They talking about 100. USA Today, Fox News. I mean, this was trending. 100.
So,
New York Post.
for those who don't know what the fuck K2 is, K2 is a synthetic weed. It's basically not weed. It's the shit that that you could overdose on. It's not the shit that you're supposed to be taking. Like it's fucking potpourri and incense shavings and
shit.
Just a mixture of some shit. And I mean, it's just not no bueno. Period. As you see.
They used to call it spice.
I don't give a fuck.
Spice. No, I gotta tell you what it's made out of. You know, I'm just so interested.
So basically, it was two individuals. Was on the green, our downtown. Like we got the green,
New Haven Green,
across the street from Yale.
Yeah, the New Haven Green, right in Yale's backyard. Basically, it was two individuals just down there passing it out. And people were smoking it and just started ODing crazy left and right.
They was dropping like flies.
Definitely was. And while people was dropping like flies, they still was passing the shit out on the other side. They started dropping like flies.
I don't mean to laugh the way I'm laughing, but I'm very entertained.
They say at least it was fentanyl.
That's. But you know what? All those people that overdosed, they're truly blessed because we didn't have any fatalities. Right. I mean, this could have been definitely worse. But does that mean that they're going to stop smoking it? Absolutely not. They're just going to do it somewhere they're no longer seen. Because right now, New Haven Green has a major news audience.
Yeah.
So, everyone's downtown. They're going to go other places. Now, usually, and this is what I don't like about all these news medias and they putting this stuff out, is the more you talk about it, the more you're promoting it. Because you have to think of an addict. If he got those experiences, he must have been high as a cloud. That's some good shit. I want that experience too.
Yeah, but because when I took my CPR class, that's what they were saying. Some people will overdose on heroin because they remember when we had the big outbreak of people overdosing off of heroin and shit. It was laced with the fentanyl too. And that shit is something that they use to fucking break you out of your high, to bring you back to life, basically. So
what, the fentanyl or the Narcan?
Yeah, the Narcan.
The Narcan breaks you out, but the fentanyl is used now. Fentanyl, which people don't know, is used as a pain reliever. Right. So that's like if you break a limb or something of the sort, they'll inject either morphine or fentanyl in you to calm your pain level down. So can you imagine smoking that shit? People who are on fentanyl. People who are it's a question. People who are on fentanyl for actual pain relief, they fall asleep. They can't go outside because if they sweat, their heart races, and they pass out.
Their heart rate gets so fucking low. It gets low to a dangerous level to the point where they damn near dead. So when you come with the Narcan and you hit them with the shit to make them wake up, they get mad as fuck. Yo, you just blew my fucking high. That shit. In the CPR, they show us videos and everything. My CPR class was telling us yo, they'll wake up and get violent and everything. That shit be crazy. That shit crazy, yo. So for that shit to be laced with that shit, that just make them a fucking extra zombie because the K2. Without that shit, make you zombied out. So that, I don't know. Anybody that's on that shit tight, that's their choice of drug, you wild.
Did you guys see the video that I posted up on Facebook? And I am going to post it up on Grown Ups Talk with the guy. He's literally just walking down the street. Let me tell you how ruthless New Haven is. We should be like the next Baltimore. Just how ruthless.
It's real in Baltimore.
No. I'm going to tell you, you have to see the video. First of all, you never accepted my friend request. That's why your ass didn't see the video. We're moving on.
Hold up.
Moving on. So
I'm gonna add you right now.
So don't even look at it. So what this guy was doing, he was definitely laid out. He was done. And the other dude just sat next to him and just casually started robbing, like all in his pockets, looking through his wallet, taking his shit. And I'm like, oh my God, like this is on Facebook Live that this is happening. Meanwhile, the guy doesn't realize he's robbed. He jumps up, he walks across the street, he stops in the middle of traffic and he falls.
Yeah.
They thought he was dead. So it's really, I mean, if you can stomach it, definitely catch it on the Grown-Ups Talk Facebook page because that's where I will be posting it. But this K2 thing is not new.
Oh, no.
The nitty gritty of it, this is not new.
I don't see any monikers in my friend request.
Before, you still on that.
I'm just saying, like,
before it became illegal thing, they were selling it at the gas station, and it used to come in like little cute tubes, and it was liquid, and you can get it for like $2.
For real?
And you can pick it in your little smoky thing. What is it called? The vapor thingies?
You know, you get from
Right.
the gas station. Yeah.
Yeah, you used to get them from the gas station. I know all the gas station spots you could have gotten them from, but that's because I worked in a substance abuse field, so.
Basically.
So now they just have a new way of doing it. It's no longer in a liquid form. Like they actually you're like cooking it.
That shit not new either. Because I know
No,
somebody
of
that
course
used to they used to just go get this shit like, oh, I'm about to go buy I gotta go re-up. Like, what you talking about? I gotta go get my incense and my potpourri and like nigga, what is you selling? Nigga
K2, that's spice.
I got a whole list of niggas
That's spice.
Yeah, y'all niggas
So obviously New Haven made news in the worst way possible. Nothing positive. All just negative, as always. Because you know the new crime rate listing came out, and guess where New Haven scored at?
Wait.
Number 4.
Shout out to
we
us.
hold it down on number 4.
We've been number 4 for a while.
What the hell? So not only is New Haven known as the K2 heads, we also known as the most dangerous city in the United States.
Yeah, but
So we're keeping it up. We're keeping the energy.
like we keeping the energy on that list, but if you go out of state and you ask about New Haven, everybody say, "Oh yeah." If you just say yeah, everybody know what it is. You feel me? Everybody that don't live here don't really know about it. Like, but yeah, I don't know.
They know about it now. They know that agree. You want some good crap? You come to New Haven. You
That's
gonna
no
get
more
high as a kite.
Yale Pizza and K2.
The wild thing about that shit was it was a lot of people that was homeless and that got mental health issues and shit like that. Like, you know what I mean? So that's what the people that they was targeting when they was passing the shit out. People that can't afford to buy the shit in the first place. I was hearing about it being a conspiracy theory that, you know what I mean, it was basically the law and they was trying to pump the shit through the city again, get everybody hooked up and zombied out on the shit, and that could help the crime rate so they could meet quotas. And then we just got the Canna Health. I mean, shout out to Canna Health. I mean, if y'all want to go get your car or go see about getting your consultant done, I mean, and get your medical card, go down to Canna Health. But since that came down, they trying to make it look like now it's an influx of people being down there overdosing and all that shit.
I wouldn't be surprised because
But
you know
it's not
Tony
a
Hart never
dispensary.
said anything about this whole situation.
I actually saw those statements she made.
Oh, she did make statements.
I was just
Because she was silent as a church mouse when it was.
Yeah,
She was silent. Let me see how she stayed face today.
Hartford Current.
You got it. I got
They
the
had
Hartford.
Keep that shit local.
Let me see if I can find it again. Cause I was just reading. Don't worry.
Yeah, but like I was saying though, with the Canna Health being downtown, like they trying to make it look like the synthetic marijuana or anything with marijuana attached to it. They're gonna try to attach it to that. Like, you know what I mean? So
You think maybe a conservative or liberal might have done that?
I don't
just
know.
'cause?
I would
I
say
don't know.
probably more conservative. That's more their route, you know.
Really, just to gain the population to have a negative outlook
Yeah.
on
Especially with the
cannabis.
especially with the governor, races that's going on right now.
oh yeah, you never know. Though.
We're on a war of
But
drugs,
that's just a
War of
conspiracy
hate,
though.
too.
I don't want nobody coming from a rich
That's why I
tax
said
hat.
it's just but think about it though. It's a fucking coinky dink. It's a coinky dink.
I haven't heard that in a while.
You know what I mean? Canna Health come down here, they talking about healing people through marijuana and the benefits of marijuana and all this and that. And what the fuck happens downtown? Everybody.
Drugs. Literally, it was like the best part. It was like a drop dead. Like everybody was just going.
But
literally.
you start talking about healing people with cannabis and.
No, you can read that out loud. Let your audience know. Hartford Current.
First of all, she said a lot of shit, so I ain't even reading all the shit she said.
Just take out the highlights.
That's what I'm about to do. She was basically going over same thing what Cooley just said about the mental health aspect of it and how they was trying to like pretty much target people with mental health or whatever, and she know that there's chronic relapsing disease in that area, whatever, people trying to get their life together and shit like that, and something about a $9.4 million out of budget or some shit.
Yeah, she go bringing up that goddamn
the goddamn
she's
budget.
talking about that goddamn budget. You know what? This ain't
the episode to get her. It ain't the episode to get her yet.
About getting her. It's just again being grown-ups, having these grown-ups conversations.
No, I'm gonna get her.
That shit.
We're gonna dedicate a whole episode to Tony Hart.
Listen,
Listen, I got a couple bars for her, man.
Listen, but about this mental health situation though, like I mean, I think it's fucked up that they was down there targeting people that are down and out, or I mean, trying to get their shit back together, get their mind right in their life, already dealing with the fucking
challenges
the
that
challenges
they face in their mind.
Right, like I mean, like they already dealing with mental health, and then you're gonna go put them on some shit like that that's gonna trip them out even fucking more. Like,
so I want to I'm so glad we're talking about mental health because I was sitting in my car and it's funny because I called Jermaine, I called Cooley, and I said, Cooley, I'm going to go on live and I'm going to talk about mental health because I got a lot on my heart. He's like, no, don't do it, not yet. So now I'm going to use this as a way.
That sounds like Cooley too.
Yeah, he was like, no, don't do it, not yet.
she damn near had me down.
Right.
Yeah. So there's a difference between mental health and someone who has an actual dependency on whatever choice of drug they use. It's called a dual diagnosis. So just to break it down, what is a dual diagnosis? Is a mixture of the mental health and the drug addiction. Now, just because someone has a mental health does not necessarily mean that they're going to resort to drugs. Right. It's absolutely beyond mental health at this point. You have people that are self-medicating because they went through a trauma that they don't want to talk about, and they're doing whatever drug of their choice to escape those feelings. Yeah. So when you put this stigma on mental health, it really irks me. And what I wanted to go live about is because, you know, I'm not sure if everybody knew, I'm really open about it, but I was diagnosed with a mental health problem at the age of 25. But
you tell everybody you got what, 5 different types of
I
things?
sure do. I tell everybody, but no one takes me serious when I say that. So when I wanted to talk about mental health is because just because you have a mental health does not mean you're an addict. And people associate mental health with, okay, this person has schizophrenia, or this person has anxiety, depression, or PTSD of whatever sort, and now you're an addict. And we're not addicts.
Well, not that you are an addict, but they're going to try to convert you to be an addict because of the medication that they put you on ends up making you dependent on it. Like, you feel what I'm saying? Like,
there's teeters to it. So you have teeter 1, teeter 2, teeter 3. I really researched this whole thing. And I was going to bring my drug book, but I said, no, that might be a little too nerdy.
Yeah, see.
Not going to do it today.
But we just had a most recent case with that. Somebody just came out that we all know of that came out, Kanye West.
Yeah,
he just said that he was, whatever medication they gave him, he said he was,
Yeah, he was
dependent on it.
Very dependent on it. I think when I first got diagnosed, I was very dependent on my medication. It wasn't until I woke up one day and I said, I ain't taking this shit no more. I'm not going to sleep my whole life away. I'm going to learn how to do it.
Shout out to you for being there, Shout out to you for being there.
But there's people out there that's not able to handle being diagnosed with a mental illness. Because you still need people that need to be on the medication anyway. Like, I did an excellent training, and I so appreciate it because if I didn't do the training, I wouldn't have understood what hearing voices felt like. I actually took a training of hearing voices. I was sitting there, I was given instructions, I had to do like a bank transaction, but I couldn't concentrate because all I was hearing was people shouting at me. So then I started talking back, like, shut the fuck up. Like, I just want to do this transaction. But it took me it made me appreciate that a lot of these people that are schizophrenic, they have to be on that medication. But that doesn't necessarily mean that they're self-medicating and going to drugs. So when Tony Hawk brings this, well, it's a lot of mental health people. Well, you know what? Let's pick the real shit out there. You are dealing with New Haven, which is, by the way, the best recovery city that's out there. State of the art. There's nothing anywhere near close to New Haven's recovery system in the United States, okay? So you have people from Alabama, Iowa, Nevada, Cali, Ohio, and believe me, I met every source of people. They come to New Haven to get the recovery assistance that they need. Okay?
No, is that
with
through
mental
Yale
health,
or
both mental health as well as substance abuse.
no? I'm saying is that through Yale? Like,
No,
is it
it's
because of Yale's?
No, not at all. It's through programs such as the Connection Inc., Continuum of Care, the App Foundation, was MCCA. Like you have many, Cornell Hill Health Center. So you have all these places that's servicing a community that's dealing with mental health and substance abuse. So they dump their people in New Haven. That's even including the surrounding cities that's around New Haven. So Torrington, Naugatuck, Greenwich. When they have a defective citizen, guess where they go? They come to New Haven. But little do they know that they have only short-term programs. So their programs are only anywhere from 45 to 90 days. After 91 days, they're considered a resident in New Haven. So the program usually kicks them out, which is why there's a lot of people on the green. Because these people have nowhere to go because we're overpopulated with this mental health and substance abuse. They can't go to any sober houses because there's not enough sober houses being out there to house these people. So they can't do nothing. They have no choice but to either go to Tent City or to go downtown Green. And this is how they are exposed to the same demons that's conquering them. And not even to say, drug court is literally across the street from the Green.
Yeah,
So,
it's everywhere.
It's like the
here,
dealer
like,
comes out, they sell the drugs, and then
It's-
the cycle repeats.
all it is because like you said, when they get kicked out of the program, like sometimes to get them off of the drugs, they give them drugs to get off of the drugs. So
Right,
and if
right.
they can't fill that prescription, they looking for something to fulfill that feeling. Like you feel me?
Right, and that's
so that's
why.
how that shit ends up happening. Like you get the mental health people or the mentally ill people on substances. Like I mean, you get them on drugs, you get them on crack, you get them on dope, the methadone clinic on Congress. Like you got them everywhere. Like they just taking them off one thing, put them on another because they're just getting money hand over fist. Like
Right, and it's all like a pharmaceutical thing. Like Kanye said, Kanye was touching on something when he's talking about his mental health. That's something I can agree on. Me and him can agree with. Besides the other BS that he has roaming in the air, you know what I mean? But the pharmaceutical company, they thrive off of that. That's how they're making their money. Besides, fake diagnoses that they have walking around the world, but that's what they thrive off. As long as people are dependent on things, the better, the more money they make, essentially.
I always say, their job is not to cure you.
Right, it's only to treat you.
It's only to treat you. It's only to treat you. That's it.
So another reason why I wanted to talk about mental health as well is because there's a lot of people that are living with mental health, but they don't want to come out because they feel as if they're going to be judged or be looked at as like loose wire per se. So what will you do in that situation? Like let's say you guys had a mental health and you came out and people started judging you. Like how would you feel? Like what are some things we can give back to the community to let them know like it's okay? It's okay to have this problem.
I mean, first things first, I would say give them the open ear because I have a lot of I'm not gonna say a lot of friends, but I have like a few people that I know of that do have some mental health issues, and they come to me and I sit there and talk the problems out with them, tell them it's not anything that you can't handle, things like that, and I do everything but beat them down because that's the last thing they need to hear,
I feel you on that. Like, growing up around people, like my mom she had 2 men in her life, like at separate times, but she had 2 relationships with these 2 dudes that ended up having mental illnesses. They didn't even know that they had mental illnesses. They was trying to cope with drugs, and I mean, they ended up getting locked up and ended up seeing a psychiatrist and all that shit when they came out. One of them ended up beating up a cop, and they sent his ass to the what we call the crazy house. They sent him there, and I mean, they diagnosed him, found out he had a mental illness. But the thing to do, or the thing that I know you have to, if I was a person, I would have to reassure myself of who I am. Like, you know what I mean? I would look back in and not pay too much attention to what everybody else is saying, because if they don't know, or they don't have the same thing you have, they can't really tell. Like, it's just their ignorance. Like, you know what I mean? It's their lack of education on what your actual condition is. Like, because everybody that has a mental illness isn't somebody that's just slow in society, or isn't just, they can't comprehend.
Right.
It's just, it takes them a different way. Their equation to get to that, I mean, their calculations to get to that equation of common sense takes a little bit longer, or is a different route than what the normal route is. And like Kristen was saying, like, you just gotta be, for the people surrounding that person, you gotta be supportive. You gotta be supportive, but also like try to guide them to strengthen themselves, like challenge themselves to be better and try to beat it and overcome it, to give themselves a better life. Like, because some people become prisoners to the mental health because they don't know how to cope with it. They're not educated enough on it, and nobody helping them with it. Like, you know what I mean? Nobody telling them things that they can't be doing, what it is, how to deal with it, or none of that. Like, not even the people in the healthcare field, like, they don't even fully help.
Right, because they don't understand what you're going through.
Right.
Yeah, we gotta stop being so dismissive about it, because that's just gonna make it even worse.
No, I agree with all three. What I would add to that though is, before anyone try to be, a psychiatrist and help, if you know the person has some type of mental health issues, I would suggest, take it upon yourself to do some research and find someone that can help professionally,
Right.
And offer the help. Sometimes it's most of the time, a lot of times it may fall on deaf ears because the mental health situation,
Right.
patients, and in that situation is something that you're gonna have to work on.
Right. It's a battle.
Right. And this is speaking from personal experience. Just try, I think, to find someone that can help professionally. It's all well and good to be able to adapt and help and suggest and give advice, but it's more serious than what it may seem like.
Right.
So your advice and your input just may be overhead.
Right. Just making sure that it's educated advice.
Right.
And it's not just coming from like Kristen said, shooing them away, like, get out of here, kid. Like, because now we all got family, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm about to say that.
Everybody got family that you look at that, that's my crazy cousin. Yeah, he might be crazy, but I think it might be a little bit more than just being crazy or just acting out because you feel like acting out. My G, there's something wrong over there, you know what I mean? And just encourage them, or, just see what it is. Like, take them to a therapist. Yo, take this ride with me real quick. Nah.
So the Black community don't really speak about mental health. I noticed that. And I noticed that a lot of Black people said, that's a white people's disease.
Oh.
Black people don't get mental health.
I wouldn't say the Black community doesn't. I would say they're more dismissive of it. Like, for some reason, we find it okay to say, oh, that person's just crazy. Or, to self-diagnose ourselves that, oh yeah, I'm bipolar, I'm schizophrenic, like it's some kind of game. No, it's not no game. It's nothing to play around with,
I think that shit come from a lack of trust, though. Like, you gotta go trust the same system to tell you what's wrong with you that made most of these things wrong with you. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you grow up in the hood, we grow up around here oppressed, like, you know what I mean? We grow up in these conditions, and we gotta see all of the crime rate, all of the shit going on, and you know what I mean, you eventually, like, anybody right now can go to a therapist and they gonna say, oh, you got PTSD, period. Because you guaranteed done seen some wild shit in your life, done been through some wild shit, experienced some wild shit, and lived in a wild ass environment. Like I'm speaking for like us four. Like I know all of us on a personal level. Like you know what I mean. So I know we all done seen and done some wild shit, been around some wild shit. Every day wake up and have to face some wild shit. So if any of us right now go in there and sit down, they gonna say all of us got PTSD. Like for me.
Yeah, they
like,
tried to tell me that. I was like, I don't got PTSD.
I guarantee.
But they ended up giving me a mild PTSD. They didn't say I have full blown PTSD, but I do have a mild PTSD.
Yeah,
so I don't do gunshots. I don't do group of men.
Right.
I don't like a large group of men.
It might not
it's
be
real,
like
though.
somebody that came out of the army and actually went to war and all that stuff,
Right.
but it's a level of it there. Like you feel me? Like we deal with having to adapt to our situation, and we've been trained all of these years to just cope, just deal with it. It'll get better one day. Fuck it. Like deal with it. How you gonna get through the rest of the day? Like that's where I feel like that shit come from. Like you can't trust the system that created the environment to give you this type of shit that like PTSD. I'm gonna say that because you can't. I don't think you can be trained on how to be schizophrenic or nothing like that. Like
no, that's hereditary. That's something that's passed down through genes.
But as far as like PTSD or just depression and shit like that, like those are mental illnesses and those are things that a lot of people around here are dealing with, and it's not so far as schizophrenia or always being bipolar or something like that. Like it could be just depression. They need somebody to talk to. It could be just PTSD. They being where they came from, they always afraid or they always on alarm because of what's going on around them. They gotta be on their toes at all times. Like
anxiety.
Shit like that. Yeah, like anxiety.
It's a horrible thing.
Yeah.
I wrote on my Instagram page at the real Monica 203-718. I literally wrote up there like fuck anxiety.
Yeah, nah.
Anxiety took me out last week. Anxiety took me out last week. It's real. It's not a game.
One of my close friends, he's real bad with it, anxiety. And then when something happens,
Yeah, it's hard.
like when something happens, like he's the first one that comes to my mind because he just like when something happens, he just goes all like he loses it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It used to be like that. Shit, I had a couple what me and AK called episodes. That's what I was just telling them about my episodes. Like I used to we'll be burning, and I'll just like years ago be burning, and I'll just be like, yo, AK, bro, I don't think I'm breathing right. Like straight going to like an anxiety attack right there. Mm-hmm. Like this shit after a while, it'll be funny as fuck, and even I'll be laughing at it. But now that I know what it was, I know how to like. If in that situation again, I know how to deal with it. But when I was like, yo, what the fuck is this? Like, yo, and yeah, it wasn't nothing laced. I never smoked nothing laced, nothing like that. It just was my anxiety would hit at a certain time. Like if I was in a certain environment, you know what I mean, and I was smoking, like my anxiety would hit, like, and I'd just be like bugging, like not out here on no zombie shit, just be like, yo, AK, yo.
Paranoid.
Something wrong, bro. Like, something ain't right.
Paranoid.
That shit would be hilarious.
But there's different levels to anxiety too, which people don't know. A lot of people, and there's different levels to depression as well. So I don't want to get all nerdy on you guys, but I live through anxiety all day, every day. Like this is my life. So I want to say something because I want to touch base on what you said about people having the trust issue of not wanting to go to see the same people that prescribe them medication. It's like a cycle effect. Let me just say, if it wasn't for me seeking help, like you saw where I was at in my place of time. Right. If it wasn't for me seeking help, I wouldn't be where I'm at now. Honestly, I wouldn't. I had to let that little trust issue or that judgmental issue go and get the help I needed to get. So I encourage anybody that's battling whatever it is. I battle, as I said, from anxiety, and it knocked me the hell off my feet last week. So, if you're battling it, go and get that help. No one's gonna judge you.
Please.
No one's gonna judge you. And let me tell you something. The suicide rate for African American men is extremely off the roof. We shouldn't be at the numbers that we are. For every 1 to 10 men that suffers from depression, 3 of them commit suicide. Mm-hmm. That's too big of a number. That's huge. So I feel like we should talk about, mental health. And encouraging people to go get the help.
Yeah, I mean, like, recently I was having a conversation and I was saying how, I mean, I feel like I need to reach out and, I mean, talk to somebody because after losing both of my parents and growing up and seeing all the shit I seen and being a child doing all the shit I did, like, I need to get some of this shit off my chest. But, I mean, me not trusting the people that, I mean, me not trusting the system, period. Like, I don't trust that field all the way, like, you feel me? And I don't feel like I can go and talk to some random person and get the same advice or similar advice that I can get, you know what I mean, from talking to my close friend that see me go through this shit, or, you know what I mean, and gonna give me an honest, unbiased opinion, or just be an ear for me, or, you know what I mean, shit like that. Like, I feel like I can go to my friend and talk to my friend, and my friend can come and talk to me, and we can have that open, I mean, non-judgmental conversation, and that's why, like, I'm not going to no therapist or nothing, because I don't want to be diagnosed with no shit. I know, I mean, PTSD is guaranteed gonna be up there. I ain't got no bipolar shit because I don't feel like I'm two different people. Like, I just know that I need to talk to somebody.
Right.
That's all I gotta do.
Then use 211, and a lot of people don't realize that 211 is there not just for only information, but it's also there for people who are not interested in going into an actual outpatient office and speaking to a therapist. They do have therapists on the scene that if you call them and you say, you know what, I'm in crisis or I'm going through a lot, they're going to connect you with somebody that will be that listening ear. Chances are you'll never see that person again. You'll never meet that person at all, but you still have the opportunity to get it off your chest. So there's tons of resources that can be used to provide people that's questioning their mental health state. There's tons of resources. It's just unfortunately people are not telling us about them. It's like word of mouth. So if, you know, again to my viewers, if you ever have an issue, especially if you live in the Connecticut area, they have 211. And now if you live in New York, they have 411. There's different resources that they can use. 311 for Pennsylvania. Like, I'm naming them all. You know what I mean? But there are people out there that can help you without the judgmental factor.
Yeah.
And it's part of the information line.
Even if it's just that one friend, like.
I think therapy is vital. It's a vital resource that our urban community don't take advantage of. Talking to people, and I think that if we did more of that, it'd probably be more black on black crime. It'd be less.
Get more that off your chest. Come on.
And the reason why I say that is because that same reason that Cooley have, the lack of trust. I think that's the biggest problem in our urban community is the lack of trust.
Yeah.
Not trusting one another, and lack of trust in ourselves. So,
yeah.
With that being said, the shit that you see around made it evolve, made your trust levels, deteriorate, and fucked you up as a youth or whatever the case may be.
Yeah.
But it may be stuck there because you not outletting it to the right sources. You plugging it in, you call me up, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I don't have the same resources that the psychiatrist or the therapist the therapist may have, you know what I mean? I don't have that same, because I say that to say this, because that's their job. Just like at your job, you deal with, just today you were just telling me about disgruntled employees.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So you may deal with someone that's, you know what I mean, way out of character, but you know how to deal with it. Someone that may got the job after you could blow their top.
Yeah, blow their top.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
I get you, like, my bad for cutting you off, but I get you in the fact that, like, the only difference I see is that they studied it so they can show you ways to cope with it, or like exercises and shit like that. But I mean, I don't know. Me personally, you know what I mean, and I know I'm gonna sound like a lot of people. I know it's gonna be a lot of people that probably won't admit it, but they're gonna in the back of their mind be like, yeah, I feel what he's saying. Like, I just feel some type of way of sitting down and telling a stranger, Like, I mean, or somebody I don't know everything, opposed to talking to somebody that's been there, through everything, or know it all, or whatever, and I mean, and talk to them about whatever the fuck I'm going on. You might not, like you say, you might not have all the answers or whatever, and I mean, I might call Monica, she ain't got all the answers, but she heard me out, and I mean, and maybe she might see it from a different view, because 9 times out of 10, when I call on y'all, I get a different view. Yo, look at it like this, and I mean, maybe that, for me, I know that a lot of the times be the thing that just helped me get over the hump, and that be it. Like the coping mechanisms or whatever, I could probably get that and just learn how to do that and call your phone a little less. But I mean,
See,
right, but even I'm sorry to cut you out.
Hey, we all have something to say.
But this kind of reminds me of Antoine Fisher, because remember when he went into the office, and then at first he was just so like
distant.
Yeah, distant. He didn't want to talk about anything, but then as he started to open up, he started feeling more relieved. He started being more at ease, and then he started, going visit his family. Trying to find the cure to all his, mental health issues.
Exactly. Yeah. So that makes my point even more valid. That not to say because Antoine Fisher, he really have no good influences. Because
true. That movie was crazy.
Shout out to Denzel.
Right. That's right. But maybe I think we help you get through the situation, but not past it. So, I mean, I think that's something that the therapist may be able to help you do, get past the situation, rather than get through it at that point.
Amen.
I mean, because I didn't lose both my parents, but I lost the main part.
Right.
So, I mean, I can understand you as far as wanting to talk to someone and I mean, just venting and thought about it constantly or whatever. And so I just think that, there's nothing wrong with it, bro. Like,
I just know
that relationship that Antoine Fisher had when he went to go speak with Denzel prior to everything, it was strangers talking.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And they built a connection, and having dinner with the family and all that. And who knows, I ain't saying go do all that with the therapist, but we may need to build a connection with someone that is experiencing that field.
Yes, and I get you, but I mean, the reason I use myself in this scenario as a vessel for the people that feel the way I'm feeling, but just won't come out and say it. Like you'll tell them, why don't you go talk to a therapist? And they're like, nah, I don't want to. Why don't you want to? Like, you feel me? So that, I'm using me as a vessel speaking for them, because I know a lot of people feel like that. Like, they just don't trust it. They feel iffy about it. It feels funny to go tell a stranger all these weird things. They're going to judge me. All of that shit. Like,
I know, I'm speaking through you to them.
Yeah. I'm just saying,
So one of the things, I'm sorry to cut you off because I don't want to lose my train of thought. My apologies. One of the main things that I noticed that I had to overcome was going into a therapist's office and looking at this woman that was a different complexion than myself, because I felt as if that individual couldn't understand half of the things I went through.
Right.
And I know that there's a shortage of African American black men and women that's in that field. So I feel like if we had more people that look at us, that look like us, and that can relate to us, I think that we'll have a more open mind about going and seeing somebody. Because now you look just like me. So I know for a fact you might have experienced something, so you can relate. So I notice with therapists, when I talk to them, they have no idea how I'm feeling. Mm-hmm. And it's hard because part of the exercise is expressing how I'm feeling at that moment in time. Rather it's me reliving a situation or me just, my anxiety come whenever. I can be sitting next to you guys and just anxiety attack, right, happening. So it's just all about identifying it and stopping it before it begins. But to go back to your, what you were saying about, people are feeling this way. What are some things you can do besides, we're talking it, but what else do you think that we can put to the table to make it more comfortable for them to go?
Shit, just cite your sources. Basically, cite the sources from, like you said, a 2-on-1. what is that? Talkspace that's out there. Like you can get on Talkspace and you can call in and talk to a therapist.
I didn't know they had talk. What is it called? Talkspace?
Yeah, that's why you got to listen to more podcasts. But,
Wow. Okay.
shout out to Charlamagne and Schultz.
Okay.
And so
Andrew Schultz.
yeah, Schultz. Shout out to them. Like they be talking about it all the time. I mean, if you listen or follow Charlamagne, you know he say he go to therapy every Friday. I mean at 3:00. Yeah, I'm a faithful listener. But I mean, and that like hearing
It's a
him.
dope podcast though.
Yeah.
Really and maybe it's a dope podcast.
It definitely is. But listen to Grown Ups Talk first.
Of course, first and foremost.
But yeah, I mean, like it's resources out there. Like I mean, it's good ones and it's bad ones. Like one of my brothers is going through therapy, and he went to one therapist. His first therapist almost turned him right back around from never going to another one again, because he would be there talking, and they would just want to be paying him no fucking attention, just letting him talk and not giving him no feedback, no nothing. Like, so he never went back, and he went to another one to give it a second shot, and they actually helping him through a lot of shit. But yeah, man, it's 211 if you in a local New Haven or CT area. It's Talkspace. It's a lot out there. I think the best thing we can do is give the resources or put it out there where you can go and talk to people or talk to a therapist. And like the ill thing about Talkspace is you never even gotta go sit down. You can literally call and talk to them on the phone, and they'll help you out over the phone. Like, and then there's the occasional drop-ins if they didn't get your area or whatever, and they sign up through, they do their thing through Talkspace, and they got an office. You could probably get a fucking appointment and go and sit down and actually talk to them. But there's resources out there. I think the best thing we can do is just put the resources out there for people.
You go to the emergency room too, just so you know. Like you go to the, even though a lot of people are like, heck no, I'm not going. But I started out going to the emergency room, and I ended up talking to somebody that.
For you talking about for your anxiety attacks?
Yeah, my anxiety attack. Nobody kept thinking that was for
yeah.
heart attacks and shit. No, I noticed, but there's people that's in there for depression. There's people in there for schizophrenia. Like for where I used to think I was having heart attacks and having aneurysms. That was my major thing, and I don't know why. I know where that came from, but I used to go to the emergency room, and they would literally sit there and talk to me and try to offer me all types of drugs. But I used to go, and they eventually set me up with the services that I needed to pursue to talk to somebody. But I want to give this number out because I don't know the artist. What's his name? Lyric or something like that? Who made the suicide prevention number? Phone. Who is that artist? While we think of that, I want to
that corny nigga. What's his name?
He's a corny. What's his name?
I can't think his name because he's corny.
Wow.
I had said his name a while back, and he said the same exact thing on the podcast. I remember.
I just wanted to let you guys know that there is a number that you can call in the event that you feel suicidal. Is a national
Logic is Logic.
Logic. Okay, I knew it was somebody.
Still corny.
1-800.
I like Logic, man.
Oh God, this ain't gonna be a debate, guys. 1-800-273-8255, and I'm gonna repeat that again. 1-800-273-8255, and that is a number that is available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and they also have an online chat, because we all have phones. You can chat with them online if you don't feel like dialing the number.
Mm-hmm.
So there's ways out there.
I also feel like we should, whoever has mental health issues, and if they're coming to you and they're, letting they're pouring themselves out to you, let them know that it's all right to go talk to a professional. Because I know we may not have all the answers, and then, there's people that went to school for this, that's actually an expert in that field. It's already put that pride down and go talk to them. I know it's a complete stranger, but hey, they'll give you better advice than I can.
Yeah, man. Yeah, it's like I said, that joint is crazy. It's a hard thing to sell to somebody that don't really, like, they so headstrong on not going. I've been dealing with it all this time. You know what I mean? I I'll be alright, I'll get through it. Like, there's just that mentality.
Yeah.
Like, I mean,
Yeah.
But life is filled
there.
with risk as well. We take a risk every day. We take a risk while we're driving our car. We take a risk while we're eating the food that we're consuming. We're taking risks every day. So consider this as a risk. Go over there, open your mind, and see if it can be beneficial to you.
But you know what else we can do as a citizen? I mean, we can just be mindful that everybody ain't got it all at all times. Like, everybody you encounter isn't gonna be all the way, like, all the way there. Like,
Everybody has a mental health issue, though.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, like, cause some people just don't give a fuck. Like, you know what I mean? They just treat people in the old type of way, act to people in the old type of way, and it don't matter, like, mentally ill, disabled, anything. They assholes by nature, period. Like,
Talking about manager at UPS. Fucking, by the way. Straight like that.
That could be.
I'm gonna make sure you listen to this.
And it's just like that.
Straight like that.
Jesus,
Straight
that's what
like
he
that.
said.
Yeah, listen.
That could be a mental health issue, just not giving a fuck.
Yeah, well, they need to hurry up and wrap that mental up. Cause story yeah, but I mean, period. Like, just don't be an asshole. You ain't gotta be a dick to everybody. Like, you feel me? Be mindful, be respectful. Period.
And not everything is funny either.
Oh,
So
so we wrong for laughing?
No, we're laughing
Oh,
because
okay,
it's amongst us. But I'm saying, like, when you see somebody that's talking to themselves or screaming at themselves or somebody wigging out, it's not funny. Don't take out your phone and start recording, doing that stupid shit. Go show some goddamn compassion. Yes. Because you know what? You never know. You can be helping that person out. When that person get well, they might sort you to, you know, thank you and help you out. Or even they may just be the doctor that's working on you.
And all of the therapy that you can go out here and get isn't just mental. There's also sexual therapy that people go into depression because of sexual things and things that happen to them. They can't perform or all types of wild stuff. Shout out to my own girl, Shy. I mean, she studying. She about to get her doctorate.
I'm still waiting on her.
Yeah,
I want her on the show. Come on, baby, come on.
But I mean, she's studying sex therapy. You know, what I mean, she's working on her master's, about to get her doctorate. You know, what I mean, she got a mission. She got a whole reason for doing it. But
Can we get her on the show?
I already extended the invitation. She's shy. Like, literally, she's true to her name. She's shy. Like, so she got to be comfortable enough to come in and get it all out.
Shy, I'm right here. You can be comfortable. We need to talk.
But yeah, man, it's not always therapy for just the mental health.
Right.
You know what I mean? There is several different types of therapy out there.
They have grieving therapy too. Grievance therapy,
Yeah.
which is really
counseling.
intense. Yes, marriage counseling, which is absolutely awesome.
Yeah, it's a
Divorce
bunch.
counseling.
It's
all that.
good.
Yeah, it's a bunch out there. Like,
So you guys can, I feel like we should definitely let our viewers know that they can definitely look into stuff, which you guys are doing a fantastic
yeah,
job
I'm just
with.
saying, we've been doing
Thank
that, kind of
you.
citing our sources and giving them resources all episode. I mean,
Right.
if anything, I mean, I need y'all all to take care of this, or take away from this episode. Stay the fuck away from K2.
Yes.
New Haven ain't just about K2.
Right now, drugs.
Shit. Don't be clout chasing, man. Anything ain't gotta be about the clout chase. Be genuine within yourself, love yourself, respect yourself. You know what I mean? And if you're gonna be about the movement or any movement, be about it 247. Stand your ground, 10 toes down the whole way through. Be secure with yourself. If you feel like you need to talk to somebody, I mean, either cite your unbiased, opinionated friend, or I mean, find some professional help and seek a therapist. And I mean, health is wealth, man. Period.
Word.
Health is wealth, man. It all starts with you. Get you right, and the rest of the world or anything else in your environment will fall in line.
And real quick, I know in the beginning of the podcast you shouted out with Steven. Just want to No. That's my boy. That's my boy. You know that's my boy. I don't want people to think, oh, he got beef for everybody. He's saying fuck his manager. There's no smoke with Steven. That's my boy. Shout out to him.
But you ain't have to do that.
Wait, can I also put something out there too, guys? There's a walk coming up, walking out of darkness. Is for suicide prevention and those who have lost somebody due to suicide. I've lost 3 people thus far. So it's happening in Hamden. Please make sure you attend. The registration is now open. You just registered. I don't have a team. I'm doing an individual, but if we're going to create a team, just let us know. We could do like a grown-ups type of thing, and we can walk together to prevent suicide.
I think that'd be dope too. But yeah, last thoughts, AK?
No, y'all covered it. Stay the fuck away from state arcade too. That's the main thing.
But for a second, I was just going to say stay away from the state. I was like, oh shoot.
Nah, leave the drugs alone.
Yo, so with that being said,
Cooley, that's patented.
I'm just
You owe me $1 now.
I got you, man. It'll be an invoice. I am Cooley Man. You can find me everywhere under the name of Cooley Man. If you can't find me there, you can find me under anything Grown Ups Talk. Hit us all up. When this episode drops, don't be afraid to drop a comment, give us some feedback, throw a review up. When it come out on YouTube, subscribe, hit that like button, and turn on the notifications so you can get it when the episodes come out.
Absolutely, and you already know my motto: like, share, and follow. If you didn't do it, do it. Tell a friend to do it again. This is AK the Chief signing out, checking off. If you can't find me on anything Grown Up Talk, you can definitely find me on anything Grown Up Talk.
There we go. And this is Monica signing off. If you guys are ever looking for me, I am definitely on Instagram at the real Monica23718. I'm always there. I always respond to people when they come in my inbox or even just in my comment section. I do appreciate that. Also, you guys can find me on Grown Ups Talk. We're on Spotify. Don't forget. Subscribe.
Yeah, 300 downloads in the last 2 weeks.
Subscribe. We're here.
We're
It's good numbers.
Before you go off, I'm gonna do Cooley's job. Shout out to Middletown Cafe.
Let's go.
I gotta go there one.
You definitely do. When we go, you gotta come with us, bro. You definitely gotta come. So you want me to take it from there?
No, go ahead, Cooley, because I was waking you up.
Shout out to Middletown Cafe, 631 Middletown Avenue, Haven, Connecticut. If you want a good time, if you want to go any day of the week, it don't matter. It's always live over there. You know what I mean? Skibo and the whole crew will take care of you, you know what I mean? Go over there, represent for Grown Ups Talk, have a grown up time, no violence, because it's all peace over there. 631 Middletown Ave, Middletown Cafe.
And it's Christian signing out. I didn't even drink anything and I'm stumbling. But I'm signing out. You can find me on Facebook, my government name, Christian Teller Davis. And if you want to find me on Instagram, it's c.eddie, CEDOTEDDIE.
Shit. And if you on Facebook, Instagram, Spotify, YouTube, any motherfucking where they can host a podcast, we there. Hit that motherfucking link.